Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cheney 180 and
The Fallen Fed. Hey guys, what's up?
It's 80s, baby.
Sergeant Bananas.
oh wow, we've got a big group here today, huh?
No.
Heck yes, for Throwback Thursday.
Boo 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 boo. You're listening to another episode of They're Not Dolls.
Quickie Mini 11.
All right. So, man, oh man, it's actually been a pretty informative week this week in toys, huh?
Yeah, we got a little something.
A little bit here and there, right?
Yeah, little sprinkles.
Yep. But the funny thing is, we're not going to talk anything about that today. We'll save
Nope.
all that for later tonight, right, Ernie?
Yes, sir.
He stole it from you, Dario. He stole it.
I'm going to talk to
Man,
my lawyers about this.
That's your.
I've been saying that in third grade.
That's your slogan. How could he steal that from
That
you?
is Dario, but I've been saying that in third grade. All right.
All right.
You know what else? You know what else in third grade? The last time I saw 90 pounds. That was it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn, third grade? He was a big
Yeah.
boy.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, today we're going to be kind of like we tried to decide on one line to talk about, and we couldn't agree at all. So we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff. How's that sound, everyone? Everyone in the chat, does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Mhm.
We've got Thunder Crow. Welcome back, sir. We've got Keith Frost, the man, the myth, the legend, the Frost Man, saying hello, everyone. We have JLA Reject, AO, Colossal Customs, also is here. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure to click that like or hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please do so already. And without further ado, we could talk about some throwbacks, huh? How's that sound? Okay.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Everybody's on. Why am I here? Johnny's all, just show my picture so I can leave already.
My obligations for the month are here.
Yeah. So, all right, Mervine's here as well. What's a good idea? What I miss? Not much. You're good. We're just gonna do throwback. So, let's talk about some of our favorite lines. We'll start off with Johnny for a little bit since you weren't here last Thursday. So, what were some of your favorite lines growing up as a kid?
Ninja line, obviously.
Yeah. Could have guessed that.
That's like my all-time favorite line ever, which is probably another obvious.
Yes.
Even by today's standards, like there's a lot of great lines that are out there now currently, but just you can't. It's really hard to compete with something that you grew up with and loved as a kid. So that stuff doesn't go away, and it just I mean even today it's like in a way in a lot of ways like that line is kind of the reason why I even started taking photos of toys. So there's a lot of history there, nostalgia there. I just how deep that line went for how long it went is another pretty crazy thing. It's a pretty big accomplishment.
I've always wanted to ask that, Johnny. Did you start at the beginning of Turtles, like the very first figures?
Yeah, I had the originals. I was like a little kid, but like I don't like I remember having like all the soft heads and then like ripping them off the body because it was like Sid. And then my dad like using like epoxy to like reattach them. So, but yeah, like I collected that line for years, and then eventually, you grow up, and it was kind of around the time that like the X-Men animated series came out, that's kind of when I kind of left collecting that line as a kid.
Yeah, same here.
Cause like when that show came out, that was my introduction to like Wolverine and the X-Men, and obviously there's no need to explain why that stuff is awesome. But
Right.
I remember like seeing the X-Men animated series and like not having any figures from that, and just pretending that my Ninja Turtles were like X-Men characters for the time being.
Ugh.
And then obviously, then Toy Biz started dropping their X-Men figures, which were super sick. So I would say number one, obviously Ninja Turtles. Another one that I liked a lot was the the original X-Men like Toy Biz line, like that era. I really like those. And then the Spider-Man animated series, like a lot of the like that old Toy Biz Spider-Man line too.
Yeah, that was good too.
Well, pretty much like kind of like the same era as the X-Men stuff. So like I collected that stuff pretty heavily.
Okay.
So yeah, those three right there. I mean, I was a Ghostbusters collector as well. Like kind of before Ninja Turtles. Like I had a pretty good Ghostbusters collection. I had like the Proton Pack, the Trap, Ecto One, like a bunch of the figures. I remember I still have like a original Slammer on card somewhere.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty cool.
So, Ernie, a question for you. Like, since Michael is my age, your little brother, was there anything that like he got that you're like, you know what, that's actually really cool. I dig that. Like as kids, like, you know, the stuff that he was into. Was there anything you're like, man, actually, I kind of like that.
I would have to say that would be the Power Rangers line. I mean, back then it was a dud. If you were to think about it now, but if we're going back, like just the option that it did, and then there was a lot of figures that did it too, like Ghostbusters, and that option was the when they flipped and had a helmet and then no helmet.
Mm-hmm.
It would basically be our thing of getting a different head swap.
True, I could see that.
Right? Do you see what I'm saying? So when I saw that, like all I'm thinking of is like Transformers or GI Joe or anything as far as a different head. You know what I mean? Or maybe even He-Man with an expression, because then that came out and it was like, wow, like a push of a button and it flips and does that.
Yeah, I like there was so much good He-Man stuff. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Like you said, He-Man, and I was like, ooh, yeah. So, I think I wanted to ask everybody in the chat to like go ahead and put in what your favorite lines were growing up. So go ahead and comment on that.
Yeah, because we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
But you saying He-Man was probably one of my favorites. And the thing was, me being older, Michael still played with my toys as well. But he was more like you as far as taking a figure everywhere. He always had Storm Shadow, Quick Kick, and somebody else. And he was full on machine gun sounds, fighting sounds, everything. And say we went to our grandma's house and was over there for like the night, a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
If we came home and he had fallen asleep and it was like 11 and he woke up, where are my guys? That's what he called it. Where are my men?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he flipped out. We literally one night, me and Dad had to drive back, and I had to go dig in the couch because he left the figures there.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So he was really hardcore into his basically a static group of figures all the time,
yeah,
which were my old ones.
I remember
my
my older brother. He got Modulock one year for his birthday, and I was so jealous. Like I was just like, man,
yeah, I never had that one.
I'm like, I want that so bad. And like it was funny because when he got it, like he's older than me, so he was just kind of like, oh, okay, thanks, this is cool. And I'm just like, what?
Wasn't that a mail away?
No, it was.
I thought it was a mail away.
Mm-mm.
Modulock was the red one with all the parts in the build, right?
Yeah.
Came in a white box?
I don't remember what color the box was. I just remember it was wrapped up and he opened it and I was like, oh my gosh. And then like he just kind of like didn't care about it. It's just all,
but
what?
you still couldn't play with it, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was just like, no man, don't mess with this. I was just all,
Right.
oh
Okay, that was one of my favorites. Cyclone.
yeah.
I would spin them forever until my thumb hurt. Because you remember the spinning mechanism on the back?
Yes.
Was that gear?
I do recall that.
Yeah, my thumb would like be raw, dude.
You could
That-
tell Ernie was an inbox collector since early. He's like, it's had white box, right?
Well, look, okay. Dario's right. Look at He-Man. Clear, comic behind it, like everything. Like,
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, I remember they had little comic books too.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I had those all the time.
Yep, that was really cool. Did you mess
Stories that showed you different stuff, you know?
with? Uh-huh. Did you mess with the He-Man stuff at all, Johnny?
Yeah, that I had like a lot of those, but I was like a little bit younger, so
Yeah, you're a little, huh?
yeah, like I guess like my parents were still getting them for me, or I would have them, and I just remember trying to like honestly just like rip them in half because like the rubber part,
Yeah.
you know, like the legs, and yeah, I remember having that and Dino Riders.
Oh yeah.
Dino Riders.
I have the T-Rex that I had as a kid still. It doesn't have any of the attachments or anything, but it's funny because like after like I grew up like and got back into collecting toys heavily, I always had that T-Rex and I just thought it was kind of like some random T-Rex because I didn't even remember Dino Riders. And then I started like seeing like collectors like going crazy over Dino Riders and I realized like, wait a minute, it's like that T-Rex is that's that one that's in the garage that it's like
oh.
he's basically naked though. He's basically just a T-Rex because he doesn't have any of like the attachments that he would have. But like, yeah, I had some Dino Riders and Motu stuff.
Heck yeah. Did you have any He-Man figures growing up, Dario?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. I think I did, but a couple. Maybe I had like just He-Man and stuff.
Nice.
I don't remember unless they were like bootlegs. Because back then, a lot of the figures, like toys, looked like that, like how the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
Where all you move was like the arms and stuff, you know.
Right.
I had those Power Rangers that Ernie was talking about where they flipped the head.
Yes.
I remember I got one, and my cousin ended up getting another one for Christmas. And then, like I think, like maybe months after, we ended up burying them in the backyard.
Yeah, I remember my sister, she was really into that and actually had some of those figures and stuff. And for me, I remember the hype for it for the show, and then the show came on and I was just like, ooh yeah, I don't like this. But then there was a time where my sister had gotten into an accident, and so she was in the hospital for a little while, and she wanted me to watch Power Rangers with her while she was in the hospital because she'd had her leg was broken pretty bad. So I would just sit there and watch it, and then next thing you know, I kind of got into the story a little bit. I was like, oh wow, okay. And then
Tommy did what?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. That was like the key thing. It was just like, oh man, Tommy's gonna turn good. What? So yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Because at first, from my first experience with it, I wanted nothing to do with it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back over here and watch Voltron, and wait for X-Men to come on. Or
check that out. Too Bad was one of my favorites right there.
Yeah, I never had that one. I never had that
did.
one. My neighbor.
It was
had
like
that
getting
one.
2 figures in one.
Yeah. This one actually, the pop cap one, the Thunder Punch He-Man, I had that one, and I used to make my parents buy those little pop things.
Caps.
The caps, yeah. I used to make them buy those all the time because they sold them at the grocery store, and you could get them. And so it was like, come on, just go down that aisle, go down. Yes. And it was just like, as soon as I got home, it's like, snap, 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 snap. It was just crazy.
Wait, and then you were done? All right.
Yeah.
Going to the store again?
It's like, we going to the store tomorrow? No. So.
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Mervine
Okay.
said I had the turtles and that transformed from baby turtles to teenage version turtles. Those were awesome. I remember those.
Yeah.
It was like when they get mutated afterwards. Yeah. Brad Harper, Turtles and Transformers. Keith Frost at Mask, Mervine, Transformers, TMNT, and Exo Squad. Thunder Crow, Turtles and Aliens from Kenner, and also Ghostbusters. Colossal Customs. The 2000s Motu Wave was fun. Not one of my favorites, but great designs. Anyone remember Realm of Claw by Art Asylum, I think. JLO Reject.
Claw.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. JLL Reject, He-Man, Mask, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and then Turtles in the 90s. Mervine said, I got some Transformer Action Masters one year. Ernie, do you remember those?
Action Masters, were those the ones where it was like a plastic body covering up the Transformer inside?
No, they didn't transform at all. What they were is they were just basic figures. So they were here, I'll bring it up.
Like a Generation 2 card, I think, right?
Possibly. Like I remember I had Prime for sure. I had Soundwave, and I think I had Megatron.
Okay, if you're saying that, I think I remember those. See, the ones that I was thinking, those ones were where it was like in a shell, and it had like a fat dude's face on it. And oh no, those were Pretenders. That's what that was. And then like inside was a different Starscream. I remember I got it, and I was so jazzed because the box said Starscream, and I was like, yes, finally Starscream. And then I was like, what is this?
Speaking of jazz, I had this jazz.
The Action Masters jazz?
Yes.
Yeah, there they are. That one right there?
Yep.
Yeah, the Generation 2 card.
Yep.
Yeah,
They were just basic figures, yeah.
The only Transformers I had that I could remember off the top of my head was a Jazz remote control car that still had the wire connected to the remote, so you couldn't even go far with it.
Because you walk with it?
Like, yeah, you had to walk with it. So like the only thing that transformed was like from his knees up, but the bottom would still be like the car part.
I remember those.
It was pretty cool. I remember. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I just hated that stupid that wire gimmick, because you're just like, really? Like it would go out like maybe a foot and a half in front of you, and that was all the slack that you got on it. Yeah, this Soundwave here that I brought up is the only Soundwave that I owned as a kid. I didn't have the legitimate one because I think I was still a little bit young when the original one came out. So this was like my Soundwave growing up.
I had the Swap Meet one. It was like gray. He wasn't blue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Tape Man. I was like, yeah, for real. I was like, man.
Or it was like the original. What was it? Where did they come from? I forgot the name. The original Japanese name.
Oh, Diaclone?
Yeah, it was the original Diaclone one.
Yeah, and I never even knew.
Yeah, you're just like, it's not Soundwave. You're like, no, man, that's the legit deal.
Right. Yeah.
People are all, what do you?
It's funny. A lot of people didn't know like those and GoBots and everything were like all together in one thing. And then they came in when everything was sold and handpicked like what they wanted.
Yeah. It's really funny too to like kind of like look back, and so like you have companies like Takara Tomy now who own the license for My Hero. Like Takara Tomy holds the master license for My Hero in Japan and whatnot. So that's why when you see these Figma pre-orders go up, it says, you know, partnership via Tomy or whatnot. It's because they had bought it up. And pretty much out from Good Smile, because Good Smile just wasn't doing anything with it. They put out Deku and they're like, all right, well, you know, it's been fun. Yeah, I forgot all about these. Oh, I had this one too. I don't even know what this is.
GoBots. So as you speak of the cap gun, I had a GoBots cap gun that was supposed to be like a shotgun. He was about 2.5 feet tall, and he transformed. His arms were the barrel. You popped open the middle, and then you put in those caps, and he transformed to like the most generic robot ever. But it was so awesome because I never had Megatron, so that was my poor boy's GoBot. Megatron was a full-size gun.
Yeah, I never had Megatron either. I had Psykill from GoBots.
I had a Leader one.
I never had Leader one. I had
That was in my pocket all the time. But then you pulled it out, and people were like, "Oh, GoBots."
Yeah, I remember. I remember Psykill. Like I had two of them because the first one broke, and I was just like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do?" And my dad's like, "All right, let's go get another one."
So, like, speaking of figures that you carried around, everybody in the chat, our crew, were you like that? Was there a figure as a kid that you brought everywhere? Like my brother, I said, was totally Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Quick Kick, and then it always had to be somebody else, a random. So a four-thing crew. I always had in my pocket Power Glide, the red one. I had Leader One, and then probably Cosmos, because those were the smallest Transformers that I could always fit and carry around. But I always had Power Glide out. That was the red one,
Uh-huh.
the red looking plane. So, like, Dario, was there something that you took around with you as a kid? Like, like they said, okay, we're going to Thea's house. Come on, let's go. And you grab something.
No, I don't. Not that I can remember. I don't think I used to. I know my cousins used to have things, and I would just play with them. Like I said last time, I didn't have that much. So when I would go to their house, they would usually have like the game system. So I would be entertained with that. As far as toys, like I remember like having stuff and my cousins having things, but the thing is, like, I'm like the oldest, one of the oldest in the second generation cousins. Actually, in first generation cousins, and those cousins had their kids that were like almost around my age almost.
Oh,
so it was like a weird. I'm like a weird in the middle type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it kind of like it kind of sucked for me.
Yeah, I get, because you were like at the wrong age, and then you were just always going, well, that's at your cousin's house, so
yeah,
you play with it over there.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Johnny, did you have something that you took with you all the time?
Nothing like specific. I would just kind of whatever I was into. I would probably just have a couple, but I wouldn't have like the same ones reoccurring. It'd just be like whatever was like the thing I was super into at the moment.
Really? So basically, if you grab something,
it was like whatever the new toy was. So like whatever, it could have been like a Ninja Turtle, or it could have been like X-Men, whatever I had just gotten recently.
That's pretty much how I was too. Like it just whatever was more current is what I mobbed with for the time being, until I want to say like Turtles was probably like the change of that, to where it was just like if we were going to, my grandma's or my aunt's house or something, it was like I go grab my backpack, load it up with Turtles, and I'm like, all right, I don't have to talk to anyone when we get over there now. And I would just run off in the corner somewhere and play with my toys. And then when I got a little bit older, it was X-Men. It was like just throw all the X-Men in and, let's do this. So I do remember though, I like that Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and then before that the brown suit Wolverine. Like I couldn't get enough of those figures. And then when I got Gambit was like very awesome to have. What is this blue guy here, Ernie?
I believe that's one of those pretender types, where it's like just a shell, where they were introducing all sorts of types. So he's like almost maybe like the first Sharkticon.
Yeah, I remember
as they started going into that.
Yeah, I had this figure, and it was just like, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, that was mine with the Starscream Pretenders. Like I said, I got so jazzed that I finally had a Starscream, and then it was I don't even remember, like it didn't even look like Starscream. I can't even remember what the transformation was. The whole gimmick was just it was unbelievable. I was so bummed. And, as a kid, it's one of those, say thank you, and you get thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All quiet. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so going to the go ahead, Dara.
No, I was gonna say the chat says Colossal Custom said a rotating cast from Toy Biz X-Men line was for me. Thunder Crow, not a figure, but a stuffed Leo TMNT went wherever I went.
Oh, that's cool.
I always had my G.I. Joe Flint and my 80s movie Batman with extendable hook belt. Oh, that's the one that we were talking about last week.
Yep.
Were you on here last week?
Creon Games Go.
Cerrone Games Go.
That's the one, dude.
wrong,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Thunder Crow said otherwise. That was a Game Boy Sony Walkman with G-Force kind of kid. Other than the Game Boy, I was the same thing. Mervine, Farmer Mikey was my go-to for the longest. I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't care if I lost them. I wasn't gonna risk trench coat Donnie.
Yeah, see, like my brother leaving his figure somewhere, we legit had to go back. So I feel you, Merv. I'm like, okay, if you left Farmer Mikey, well, that's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever. I'll get him back next time.
he's disposable.
Yeah, but not trench coat Donnie.
Depending on what trench coat, Donnie. Are you is it the one with the cloth coat or is it the like regular undercover one?
Probably the original undercover one.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that other one, the cloth coat one, is like those are the rarest turtles. Period. Like in that old school line,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like actual turtle, like the four turtles. Even that Farmer Mikey's pretty rare though now.
I don't even remember that, Mikey. Let me look it up.
He's all right, but the real one is Donnie because he comes with like a corncob pipe. But they only did Donnie and Mikey for the farmer. They both come with tractors.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. I don't
Freaking
remember
Johnny's
this at
knowledge.
all.
Johnny's knowledge of turtles.
Oh yeah,
blows my
no,
mind.
he's got it down. Like he definitely
because it's so quick.
Well, I literally was just messing with the Donnie one not too long ago. It's funny because that picture right there to the left, like the Donnie one, if you go up a little, he's got like white eyes, so he looks kind of like like zombie-ish. Because they used to do that all the time with turtles, where like their promotional images, like they would paint the accessories, and then you would get them, and they would just be solid colors. That's why like his pickaxe is like actually painted, and it looks like way cooler. And the little like bird guy that's on the hood is painted, but when the actual toy, he's just black, like all black.
Oh.
And it's like, so like they would do that all the time, even with like just the regular characters, like the sidekicks. Like when you would see like Muckman and like Joe Eyeball, he'd be painted, and then you would get the figure, but he'd be like the color of like guacamole.
Wow, yeah, this is way different from that promotional picture.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I have that exact one right there.
Right there, the first two pictures.
Yeah, that's
wow.
And so that one's pretty rare.
Dude, that's almost bootleg status right there.
It's like that's so like things like this is like one of the reasons to me why what made this line so special is like why did they do that? But like they did that. They did so many weird things.
They did it because at this point in time, anything they made would sell.
Yeah.
Like anything they made would sell. Like you would just like for the longest time, like you couldn't find turtles because they would just sell, man.
Like as a kid, I definitely didn't have this set as a kid. I have it now, but like I think like you know how like was that yesterday we were talking about like Black Series and stuff and like the carbonized figures and like we were kind of just like you know kind of bashing it in a way, just giving our honest opinions really. But like we were talking about it, but like so back then like we were kids like when these were current and like the line was alive. It's like as a kid I never the only thing I would ever complain about is not being able to find it.
Yeah,
which is still a complaint you have as an adult collector, but like, it'd just be like I don't know, like it'd be funny to hear like if there was like an adult collector from back then that was like collecting this line and being like, can't believe they're making a Farmer Mikey, you know, like why are they doing?
Yeah,
this?
no,
like,
yeah, like I remember there was my mom's friend, her kids. They had all those ones like that. They're probably around the same age you are, and they had some of these more wacky ones. Like, yeah, like I had like left the line and went to like X-Men full bore, and I would like come over and they'd have these like crazy,
like weird,
crazy turtles.
Like even the ones that are right there on the right that are like enlarged. The one pick that's like in the middle below, like the Bandito Mikey,
Yeah.
like that figure, that line. So that Leo, that's like the wacky Wild West line. That like Indian Leo right there up top. Like they did like that series, but that Mikey is, I mean, by today's standards, is definitely not politically correct. Like, because he comes with like a jalapeno gun or like knife. It's like it's one or the other.
Yeah, Michael had that one, and I thought that was one of the coolest ones ever.
No, that one is, and he's got a mustache.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one's dope. Like that lot, that like little series they did with like the Wild West guys.
Okay, so here's one for you. I jacked that from him, and I put him up in my car with like Velcro to stand up, and then but next to him though was the Donald Duck with the sarape from McDonald's toys.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sick.
Or the three, yeah. So I had that, and then a Speedy Gonzalez was that.
Nice.
Those were in on my car dashboard.
Clearly had a theme going there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for real.
That's
But you're
sick.
right. Like if a toy, oh my god, if what could we have today?
None of this would, it would be like gender neutral, Mikey.
Yeah, no, there's no way any of this would fly anymore. Like,
Well, those would fly, the universal ones, because
yeah, I didn't even know about these. Like, I saw this right now. I didn't even know they made these.
You didn't know about that till right now? Okay, so Ernie, you'll like this because you like clear stuff. Like that Mikey, you can see he's got a clear hand and foot, but that mask comes off. And he has a clear,
Oh yeah, look
he's
at
got
the
a clear
foot.
head. Yeah, that's to me like because there's two. They did two waves, so this is the second wave. This is like arguably like this wave. The second wave is the more rare wave of the two, because
Right.
the first one was like besides Leo being the creature from the Black Lagoon, but like the first one was like you had Frankenstein Mikey, Dracula Donnie, Mummy Raph, and like Werewolf Leo, and like most of them, like the Werewolf Leo and even Dracula Donnie and the Raph Mummy, they all had like glow in the dark paint. So like Leo's shirt, you could hit with like some light, and then like it would like glow.
See, it's
like,
funny because like looking at these, I'm just like, man, these are kind of cool. Like I would actually like.
They are.
I'd like to go back and buy these just to kind of have them because they're so bizarre.
Yeah, and so like getting back into collecting this line as an adult, that was one of the most like exciting things for me, is like getting the ones that I didn't have as a kid. That's right there. That's like one of the most rare. Like if you saw that on eBay, it'd be like a couple thousand more.
Wow.
And that's, I mean, obviously that one looks like it's graded in some kind of like case, but like even just the turtle alone, like loose, no coat, no accessories, you're talking about a couple $100.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm not sure what made those so rare, but basically like
it's probably a limited run.
Yeah, and then like the coat, like whenever you see them loose, you almost never see them with the coat, because that was, think about it, as a kid, the first thing you're gonna do is, you're like, get this stupid bulky thing off.
Yeah, ditch the coat.
Wow,
and it disappears forever.
Yep.
What did the that alien looking Mikey? What are those pink accessories? Like, so what the Universal line even came with accessories?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the Raph?
Yeah, I mean that's the Metaluna mutant Raph. That's like the old monster movie, the Metal.
Oh, that's so bad. I want to look these up now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's
really
something
cool.
that's definitely something that's got to inspire the Cursed Dead guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely something that probably inspired them.
Remember how like the turtles always had like two? They like, so you could see like one's got a flat foot and they always have like a toe pivoted foot.
Yep.
Like all of them, like basically almost all of them. It's kind of like it's like, so they can never, they don't stand for shit really usually.
Yeah.
Did you have the turtles carrying case? My brother had one of those.
Oh yeah, I
had a couple different ones.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There were so many different ones.
another like some of the other like super rare ones. There was like the sumo ones. So there was like I think most people like they think when they think of sumo, they think of the character tattoo that was like just like his own character in itself. But then they did like Raph and Mikey as sumo turtles, so they're like fat.
I
They're pretty
remember
rare.
seeing those. Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Johnny, we like to say larger than other people.
Sorry, plus size.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you. I appreciate that.
So what do we got going on in the chat there, Dario?
Let's see. How far back do you want me to go?
Right there,
Where
started
we left
at
off.
Mervine's comment. He had where he says he had Prime. Did you find it?
Prime. Oh yeah, Mervine. I had Prime, Soundwave, Bumblebee, and Megatron Action Masters.
That's
Mervine.
the good set right there.
Mervine said he was the molded coat turtle, the hardhead turtle.
Oh, okay, yeah, undercover. So that was like the Surfer Mikey, Samurai Leo, and Astronaut Raph like series.
Yeah. What was it again, Cheney? Siren?
Cerrone Games
Saroni
Go.
Games Go. I accidentally fell asleep on the train and left my bendable Spider-Man. Worst day as a 6-year-old ever.
Oh, that would when you lose a toy as a kid, it's the
He's
end
like,
of the
now,
world.
he's like,
Yeah.
now I have every variant of Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Oh,
Yeah, I had like one of the neighbor kids had come over and played when I had the Secret Wars figures, and I remember distinctly having my Spider-Man, my normal Spider-Man, and then after he left, I didn't have it anymore. And I always like just knew I'm like he took my Spider-Man. He totally took my Spider-Man.
Oh, you got jacked?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Still burns to this day.
Dude, I had some cousins that I didn't see too often, and there was it sounds fun. This sounds funny. There was a lot of them. Like they were all like brothers. There's like four or five of them. And anytime I knew that they were going to come over, I would like hide all like my like highly like my loved ones. Like I would put them like back in the drawer, and then like I would specifically put together a drawer of toys that I'm just like, if this drawer caught on fire, I could live with it. The other ones, there's no way.
I had a similar thing. I had a bunch of cousins that would come over, and it sucked because like I would be at school and they'd come over, and my mom would just let them play in my room, and I'd come home and my room was thrashed, and I was mad. Oh, I was so mad. I would get so mad. So before I would leave for school every day after that, like after like the first couple times, I'd like take all my figures that I liked that I really loved, and I would do that. The same thing. I'd stash them away somewhere and leave the whatever. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, yo, like, here's this pile of toys. Let them play with that. Don't let them touch anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, like
How did that work out?
It didn't.
It's like to my cousins, they would be blown away by like that I would be like, you know, basically just like throw over the fence. Like I could give a shit about. I was
It's
like,
so funny.
That one's cool. Whatever. But yeah, like I would do like a like an inventory check after they left to make sure.
Yep.
Just like, does he have all his accessories? Like,
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Where else are we at here in the chat, Dario?
let's see. CJ's in the chat, and he said, "Have you guys seen the new Thundercats pre-order? The photos they posted look so damn cool."
They do. They look great.
Adam said, and yes, he did see them. He's already pre-ordered Chitara and Slith. And they're just going back and forth. Okay.
We have GLA Reject said that Johnny should start his own Turtles toy podcast.
I don't know if I have enough knowledge, honestly. Like, yeah, I know some stuff about the toys, but that's kind of the extent of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, that is what he said, though. Turtle toy, not turtles, but
right.
He did say turtle toy.
Yeah.
So
also,
Oh,
Colossal Customs had a question earlier. It said, "What was your favorite vehicle from any line, and what was the one you wished you had but never got?" A
okay.
vehicle.
Well, I've already
Damn.
got my favorite vehicle up on.
I saw.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask
But
you
you
about that.
But you never got it though.
Oh no, I got this one. Yeah.
Okay, so what's
I
one you
didn't have
didn't
this.
get?
I've never even seen this, but it's awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. Like this and throwing the tiger stripe Wolverine in the driver's seat was
Oh, there's nothing cooler.
there was nothing
It's
cooler
like-
at the time. Like
Yeah, yeah, like it's very hard to top that
yeah.
as a kid.
I just wanted to go through Serena Games Go comment. He said the new Turtles show is so bad he'll doubt that they'll ever get this far in a line as far as costumes. Yeah, no, that new one is not good at all.
I kind of just pretend that it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
I don't
last
want it
one
to
was
not
really
exist. Like I'm glad the Turtles they're still relevant now. Like that's awesome to me. But like, yeah, it's not it's not my Turtles. Like
good. Yeah,
whatever. It's cool for kids maybe.
yeah. See now, it's funny because we bring up this. The Jeep was like red and awesome, right? Do you guys remember the motorcycle?
Motorcycle. No.
I didn't have any vehicles or anything like this for when I had like X-Men figures as a kid.
Okay, the
I don't even
motorcycle
remember
came.
seeing this.
The motorcycle came in wave one, and the most bizarre feature about it is like it had a headlight that flipped out and switched out to Wolverine's face.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's like a bad acid trip. Like
It-
what?
I'm not kidding. Let me see if I can
Oh,
find.
it's Wolverine. No, it's Wolverine again.
Okay, while you're looking for it, mine was always Mask. I never got Rhino. I wanted Rhino so bad. I know that was the big diesel truck,
Okay,
Mm.
the one that had the two and it went into the little vehicle, and then also the Miles Mayhem's Switchblade. The two main ones I never had. I played with kids a lot at school though, and like it was always like I hope he forgets, but always at the end of the day he always came for it. And I'm like I always like would hand it back and be like, you don't even play with it.
let's see. I'm trying to find a good picture here, but if you look at this picture here, you can see that front piece, like it rotates, and so like it rotate. One of the rotations is just his head, like
I can see it from right there.
Yeah, his maskless head. Like
Oh yeah.
it's the
Okay.
most bizarre, weird thing for
What the heck?
a vehicle.
Dude, I hated that Wolverine figure. The reason
There
why
you go.
Why?
I have no
I don't understand why.
I don't know how this connects to
Oh, that's
comics
so
or
funny.
yeah.
I mean,
That
it
looks so stupid.
yeah. Why? Like, who even authorized that?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
who wrote off it was like, yeah, no, that's
I have no idea what
that's
that
a
is.
great
dude.
idea.
Wow. I've
Because
never
the
seen that
other
before.
yeah, so you could rock it with that. And I think my cousin had this. I never got it because I didn't care for it that much. But
Dude, I would straight lose a game show if that was the last question. Like,
Oh.
tell us the fake toy. I'm like the Wolverine head motorcycle.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So you said Mask Thunder Tank?
No, Mask Rhino.
Oh.
Mask Rhino. To put in Mass Vehicle Rhino.
Oh yeah, this thing was bad.
Yeah, I never had that one, man.
Oh, that looks crazy.
Ever. Yeah, it turned into the two vehicles. So even at that, I never knew anybody with it at all. Came with 3 figures. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. It was just never saw it in the stores, never saw anybody with it. That's a dream one right there.
I'm trying to think like if there was, I know, because I had a lot of that stuff. Like I had a lot of different vehicles and stuff. Like there wasn't really much that I like wanted, I guess, vehicle wise. Like,
Dude, like if you type in mask vehicles,
okay,
there is not one mass vehicle that I did not like. Like every single mass vehicle to me was cool. Like that's
I
one of
remember
those.
the what is it? this hot rod looking car here.
The 57 Chevy, I had that one.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a booty transformation. All it did was pop up and give you another tire. That's all it did. You press the top right there, and then a third wheel came out. I guess like a tank option.
Okay.
And that was it. That was it. And I had it though. But of course, it looked cool like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. See, but look at them all, man. Like, not one.
All right. Well, as much as I would love to keep going here, it is about time to call it a day for today. These ones always go so fast. Like it feels like we
it's a sign
start
of some good content right there.
Yeah. Like it always feels like we start and then it's over. Like it's just like, oh wow. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Let's get caught up on the chat and then we'll go ahead and sign off.
Where did we leave off?
Right there, Colossal Customs, Dario, where he says he never there you go.
Yeah, Colossal Custom said I never got the Thunder Tank. Keith Frost, I always wanted the Thunder Tank from Thundercats. Let's see, JL Reject. Remember that cartoon about the guy who turned into a car? Must have been going for the same vibe.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought. Team Turbo.
Mervine said, my cousin had the vehicle and he got mad because I told him it was a bootleg Optimus Prime and it didn't transform right. JL Reject said his cousin had the mask rig. It was sweet. And the RV with the jet. And Thundercrow, yes, they are coming back at 9.
We are?
So make sure you tune in.
Yes, we will be back at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
With a ton of news.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about tonight, don't we?
Cool.
Yeah. Someone's breaking into our feed, huh? Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. We'll be back sooner than that. We'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to click like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And share. Share with your friends. Please do. With that being said, be sure to check out the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network with such amazing shows as
The Starlight Digest.
and check out The Amazing's YouTube channel, Rectangular's YouTube channel, Unparalleled Universe's channel. Be sure to check out cjesem.com. Check out Supreme Collector and check out Toy Trash if you're in the UK, and also Line Breakers if you're in the local area. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, toymigos.com, and our Big Cartel shop as well. As always, I am Cheney180.
I'm the Fallen Fett.
I'm 80s, baby.
And I'm Sonia Bananas.
And remember, guys, they're not